think we've started. Technical difficulties. Yeah, that sounds about right. A bit of technical difficulties. Hey, everyone. It's been a really long time, so much so that this actually feels super, super, super weird. Um, I don't even know what to say to that. Anyway, hi, everyone. Welcome. I hope you all can hear me okay. Thanks for joining a late stream because this is not normal for me. But due to life changes, we gotta adjust. We have to adjust, right? Hey everyone, if I'm slipping too loud or I'm talking too loud, please let me know in the chat. Yeah, it's a late start today, just like WAP. Didn't mean to, but we're here. We're kind of on time. But yeah, tech difficulties, Marco. God, how is everyone doing? Happy freaking New Year. Has anyone like watched the latest episodes for winter 2026? We'll get into that in a minute. I just want to shoot the shit real quick and see how everybody's doing. Hope everyone's okay. Anybody reading anything interesting? I just started listening to audiobooks because I don't have as much time to read anymore. So let me just say that I have been listening to 86 because I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get season 2, season 3 and everything else, but I will say that if you ever like or been into audiobooks and would like to try 86, I highly recommend the audiobooks. It's like very theatrical. They do a good job with the voices and then they have different voices to help with the characters. I mean, I feel like Crunchyroll Words should have an audiobooks like section just because there are so many light novels that have audiobooks. Anyway, I digress. Hey Marco, hey Aaron, hey recovering elitist, hey Joel, hey Derek. Thanks for joining everyone. Yes, Aaron, I love Tamon's B-side so much. It is so good, but I'll get into that as we get into this live. Marco, Life with Webtoon podcast with Mel and Aaron. Hopefully it's possible. It sounds like fun, right? I feel like I need to clean up my schedule and figure life out because just to pull this live took a lot of work. But we made it happen. Derek, hey Jordan, what's up? Thanks for joining the live. Yeah, actually, I just started this live and didn't even say anything meaningful. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Animal. If you haven't been here before, make sure you subscribe. If you're here in the stream, make sure you like the stream as you continue to watch and enjoy. And, have fun interacting in the chat. It's like pretty chill here. I like ramble and talk a lot of shit. But you know what? We have fun. Derek, watching JJK, Fire Force, MHA Vigilantes, and just watched you and I are polar opposites. Wasn't planning, but thought I needed to watch a romance this season. There's a lot of romance this season. Actually, I was talking to Aaron on the side, and he said how much there's like so much romance, and I was like, wow. There actually is, and I didn't even notice. How did I not even notice as a romance like fan myself? I mean, I must be slipping. Jordan, it's okay. So like, there's no super chats yet on my channel. We're working on it, If you continue watching and go watch all my videos and help contribute to all my hours, then, you could pay your tax here. But for the most part, you could just come hang out and chill. This is why I say, like, it's a chill vibe here. You just come to hang out and listen to me shoot the shit. Marco, reading Childhood Friend Complex Uncensored has shed a new light on life. Isn't it fantastic? Like, I don't know why Webtoons needs to censor it. It's not even, like, that racy. It's not even, like, to the extent where they need to just, like, blur stuff out. It's, like, I would say it's pretty mild, like PG-13 level, but for some reason they're just, like, gonna censor it. Like, what the fuck? Webtoons, can we not censor some shit? Anyway, Joel, I have not watched most of the new seasons because most of it is sub so far. Okay, Well, I will say, and let me just like throw this out there as you're here. I'm gonna try to keep this as spoiler free as possible, but I just have to talk a little bit about JJK. So I'm just gonna warn you all. I'm gonna try to keep it as spoiler free as possible, but I can't promise you that. We're covering Elitist, Champignon Witch surprised me. So Champignon Witch, and there's like a couple others that are like living on the back burner for me, because I want to watch more stuff, but everything that I have on my list is just like there's just too much. There's just too much. This season has like is putting stress on. Stress is not the right word. It's pushing my boundaries because like I've had too much to watch and there is too much to watch. So I don't even know what to do with myself at this point. Like how do people do things? How do you live a life and watch all of this anime? Like just quick like count number. How many anime does everyone have on their watch list for winter 2026? Mine is 15 really, but like 17 if you count like the specials with Kaguya-sama and Undead Unluck's winter special. But I'm like, how are people doing it? I don't know. I don't understand. But if you could let me know how many like you have on your list, that would make me feel more sane. Anyway, all right, let's dive into it. So today I'm going to do things a little bit differently. If you've been here before for some of my like mid-season reviews, like usually I'll have like some sort of chart and tier list, sort of hacked out tier list and how I rank things. But today I'm just going to talk about it, and we're going to do it randomly. So this live is very very unstructured and unprepared, which is not normal for me. But when in Rome. All right, cool. So, let me catch up on the chat. Yeah, Joel, we have been very spoiled with JJK. I don't know who's not watching JJK. I feel like most people are watching JJK just due to the fact that like if you're just on social media, period, it's hard for you not to like see what's going on with JJK. So it almost feels like you were forced to watch JJK. Just like many people have told me they were forced to read JJK. I'm luckily not one of those few, but you kind of got pushed into it. Recovering elitist, God knows, honestly, you're not keeping track of like what you're watching, at least count wise, because I've been like trying to cut down. That's the only reason why I know the count. Aaron, childhood friend complex. The cliffhangers have been pissed me off. Plus the broken ring. I need to catch up on Broken Ring. I'm like maybe 5 chapters behind, but that's just because it got to a point where I was like, wait, I was binging this and I had like 100 something chapters to binge, and now I have nothing. I don't think I can do like nothingness anymore. I need to have like something, you know what I mean? So Derek says yes. 4. Hey Andy, what's going on? Thanks for joining the live. Marco, hopefully Mappa can flesh out the story better than the manga this season. JJK is fire. So as a non-reader, I have heard that like after Shibuya arc, it's just a mess. Like you can't understand shit. It's just like belligerent from what I can understand. I mean, if you can confirm, let me know, but it just doesn't seem coherent. And I've only really read like JJK Zero since that comes like before, and I kind of was like, oh, I kind of want to own something from JJK. I don't want the whole thing. Let me just buy Zero, right? And as I'm reading Zero, I'm like, wait a second. This is actually really messy. I don't understand most of Gege's artwork. And to be super frank, I think that this is like actually just, I don't even know. I don't know how people do it. But anyway, all right. There's a lot going on in the chat. Thanks everyone for being here. If you're just joining the live, make sure you like the stream. It really helps me out. And, watch the whole stream so that I could eventually get to a point where you guys can pay your mail tax. Aaron says there's too many on my list. Yeah, same. Cyborg Frankie, I wait for the professionals like you to tell me what's worth it. Don't wait on me. I mean, you should just go out there and explore. Um, Jordan, I have One Piece, Hajime no Ippo, JJK, Free Rent, and Send This to Be Hero. Okay, so I did not have Send This to Be Hero on my list initially. Obviously, I think everyone was talking about it, so I was just like, you know what? Let me add it. Let me add it to my list. I really appreciated the fact that it was a whole hour long. That was awesome. But, you know, we could talk about that when we get to it. Actually, hold on a second. I'm realizing here that, let's see. Yeah, let me know if you guys see my screen as I continue to go through these chats, because there's a lot and now I'm behind. Times like this where I wish I had a co-host or someone doing admin work. I need to figure that out if I'm gonna continue to keep going live. Anyway, Marco, Joe Jones has been traumatized by childhood friend complex cliffhangers that he's dissing Gachiakuta. Gachiakuta? Gachiakuta? Whatever. Okay. I mean, childhood friend complex cliffhangers actually have been killing me, so much so that I'm just like, I don't know what to do with myself. All right. JJ Jujutsu Spoilsen. That's a great one. They're covering elitist. Joel says I think I have like about 7 on my list. 7 is great. Andy, I have 3. 3 is fantastic. Someone tell me how I can do that. I need to be there. I need to be at like number 7 in terms of watching stuff. Wow. Hey Josh, how's it going? Thanks for joining the live. Joel says I got spoiled on the manga. I just gave up on reading it. Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? Some people just like ruin stuff for you, and it's just like, oh, what do I do with my life, right? Oh my god, there's so many comments on JJK, guys. Joe! Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate you. Yeah. Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate you all tuning in. It means a lot, especially because this was like ultra last minute. And, you know, I've been having a little bit of tech difficulties, as you may or may not have seen, and actually experiencing it right now at this moment because I am attempting to share my screen and it's not vibing. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, we can move on without it. I don't really need my screen to like work through this. I just wanted to give you guys a fun dynamic to watch while I talk about this. But you know what? If we can't make it happen, then that's okay. That is completely okay. Anyway, all right, then let's just move on. Cool. So I'll get back to the chats in a minute. So unfortunately, my screen is not sharing. And because it's not sharing, you know, I'm just going to talk through it. But I have a wheel up and basically just going to like randomly select something in one of the things that I'm watching right now as I continue to read through these chats because holy crap. Derek, people trying to read the culling game rules. Yeah. Oh, okay. So hold on a second. What was that all about? For those of you who've watched the latest JJK episodes, and I'm sorry if this is a spoiler, but spoiler warning, they just listed the rules like on the screen, like a whole paragraph like this. Oh, sorry. My house is like smart wired and it does things. And that's one of the things that it does. It like turns out the lights. And I think it's because it thinks there's no one in here because I don't have anything else on. So yeah, when I talk about technical difficulties, this is one of them. Life is fascinating like that. Give me a sec. Yeah, that was crazy, right? So, my husband made the house smart, and when that happens, like this door right here, when you open it, like all the lights turn on and everything, it's pretty nifty. Before I get too sidetracked, basically the door was closed, and because the door was closed, I think it just was like, oh, the door is closed. Let's turn off the lights. Yeah. So that happened just now. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. But that happened. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. This has been fun so far, right? This has totally been fun so far. All right, getting back to the comments. Recovering Lydius, the manga basically turned into a light novel the way that there's so much text. Really? That's interesting. See, like I said to someone that I actually want to check out the manga now, the parts that are getting animated just like out of curiosity, but like people keep saying things that is making me not wanna, so I'm gonna continue to stay anime only at this point. Andy, have you watched Shiboyugi playing death games? I have not, and that is not on my list, but I would love to hear more about it in case I decide to drop something. Marco Gege is a menace in his manga, not gonna lie, I believe that. Joe, trash deck future Meltax incoming. Fingers crossed. All right, so spun the wheel because you guys can't see my screen, unfortunately. And the first one that came up is actually Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You Season 2. So if you watched my Winter 2026 video, like basically everything that I intended to watch this season, this one is like one of those romances that like I wouldn't recommend unless you like trash. That's the nicest way I can say that. Because the characters' decisions are very questionable. So season 2 is off to a bang so far because our main character, Mizuho, is picking up from season 1 where like she was dating this guy, like one of the guys, and he ghosted her. We find out that he ghosted her for like 3 years while they were like still dating after dating for like 7 years or something like that. I don't know the like numbers, but it was a disaster. So far, I'm enjoying the mess because if you don't know, I'm on Threads, very active on Threads. And there's a whole little community of people that are watching Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You. So we talk shit about like the characters' questionable decisions week to week. So, I mean, if you like that kind of vibe, this is what the show is giving me. But to be super frank, I'm just like frustrated. It's only episode 1 and I'm thoroughly frustrated. But I'm going to keep watching because I like the drama. I like the unnecessary drama. If you've seen quintessential quintuplets, it's like a reverse quintessential quintuplets, but like poor decision making. Like really poor decision making. Anyway, moving on. Getting back to the chat real quick. Joe, hashtag Joe let me free. Marco, don't do that. Don't do that. Joel, a celestial in here. Feel the hockey from Joe. Joe, you're getting a lot of attention. Okay, cool. Oh, you guys saw the screen. Why did I not see that earlier? Whatever, here we go. I don't know why I wasn't seeing it then on my end, but yeah. We're just gonna keep moving forward then. Seb, hey! Thanks for joining, man. Oh my God. I mean, I feel really special. You guys are all here in the chat today. So I guess let's make this a fun one. All right, since you guys said that you could see it, I'm gonna pull it back up and we're gonna spin this. All right, so we talked about Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You. Let's move on. Okay. This one's gonna get skipped. So there's quite a few here. I tried to populate this with everything that like has aired up until this point. So like Free Run's not in here because Free Run doesn't start until the 16th. Oshinoko is not in here because it doesn't start till the 14th. And Medalist is not in here because it doesn't start until the 24th, which like, why is it so late? I don't know. Anyway, I haven't seen this yet. I've been intending to see it. I've been like mad watching stuff today. So moving on. Let's spin that again. Yeah, guys, I just saw all your messages saying that like you could see it, but you know what? This is what happens when you read the chat really slow. Fucking crazy, right? Oh, Erin, you're actually like reading Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You. Yeah, so I started reading that, and then I said, you know what? This shit's gonna piss me off. I'm gonna stop reading this. I'm actually going to just be like watching this live. No reading. I'm done with this shit. Yeah, no. But good on you, because I heard it's ending soon and like the final chapter is about to drop. And I'm not gonna lie, I went ahead and I read a little bit of like chapter 53, which is the penultimate chapter, like the second to last chapter. And I'm like crossing my fingers hardcore. I will say that, like, straight up, I hate Kizuki. I don't want Kizuki to be endgame for Mizuho. If he is, I think I will lose my fucking shit. Anyway. All right, Undead Unluck Winter Arc. So Undead Unluck decided to make an interesting creative choice in just airing like one piece of the manga. But you know what? I appreciated it a lot because I felt like the quality of production just like went up with it. And I love it. I love the fact that the production went up with it because Undead Unluck Winter Arc is like, I want to say one of my favorite 1v1s in the entire story. The story is super short though. It's like 200 something chapters. So like you could burn through it really easily. It is so good. And I'm happy that they made this decision. I'm honestly more excited for the next arc. So, I mean, I don't know if anyone who's read Undead Unluck or watched the first season. Monkey D. Jiraiya, yes, it is so good. Have you finished the manga? I will say that obviously in the beginning, Undead Unluck is really rough. Like the whole like groping of Fuko is like unnecessary. And I wonder sometimes if there was another way to go about it, just like due to the nature of her ability. I understand like touch is really important for her to activate her ability, but did it require all of that like groping? I think that was really unnecessary. Like it made me super uncomfortable. And the only reason why I kept watching is because like someone else was like, "Yeah, it's really good. Don't let the beginning like deter you." And then I kept reading and watching, and I said, "Oh my god, this shit is actually really fucking good. It's a really creative like power system, and like I understand it, unlike JJK." But I don't know, man. The production quality was really good. I loved this like special. I didn't like the fact that the first 7 minutes though was first 7 minutes. What happened in the first 7 minutes? The first 7 minutes was a whole recap of season 1. And the episode is 40 something like minutes long. And I'm just like, did it need to be like this? Like, why? I don't understand. Anyway, so Undead Unluck, really liked it. If you have not seen Undead Unluck, I would say like maybe read the manga. Like you could watch it, but maybe read the manga because I feel like the manga is less. It's still gropey, but it's not like as intense. Does that make sense? Yeah. There we go. Hey, Cyborg. Welcome, welcome. Oh, anyone new who's joined in the chat, who's currently watching, make sure you like the stream. It really helps me out. And, you know, maybe we could get to a point where you can start paying mail taxes. All right. Next. There's a lot that I'm watching this season. I'm actually a little bit in pain that there's so many good ones. Yes! Okay. Whoever is not watching Tamon B-side right now, go watch it. Go watch it. Okay, so Tamon's B-side, like, again, if you've watched my Winter 2026, like, whole spiel, it's all about this guy, Tamon. He's, like, an idol, part of this, like, boy band group in Japan called Face. And this girl who's, like, really, really into him, like, not into him, but she's, like, a fan, you know? She becomes, like, what's it called? His house cleaner, doesn't know what happens, and like she starts giving him motivation and confidence because he's like this sparkly, shiny, charming guy, and then she meets him in person and he's like not like that. He's like super mopey, very pessimistic, super depressed, and like just not with it. And honestly, it is so good. Like sometimes I feel like Tamon, especially like the chibi looking characters, the chibi art is so good. And can I just say, like, low key, as a semi-retired K-pop girly, like really loved going to BTS concerts, like OD. Like I would go like to 2-3 nights in a row of concerts. Um, this is like hitting the spot like hardcore. In addition to that, the music slaps. I don't know like who's singing the music. I think it's like the same voice actors. The music slaps. I'm here for it. I'm already listening to Sweet Magic on repeat. I don't know who's watching it, but like Nina, yes, it is so good. It is so good. And like, I don't know, like the caricature art is like so charming and it makes me laugh every time. And I think I saw somebody else say it, but uh, yeah, Recovering Elitist, like this low key might be like one of my new favorite shows. I am trying so hard not to go read the manga. I'm trying really hard not to go read the manga. One, because I don't have any time, but two, I like love the animation so much. It's just like real fresh. I love it. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it, but like if you're not a romance person or like a rom-com person, this is one of those ones. Like if it goes the right way, I feel like it could be like Kaguya-sama level just due to its own comedy dynamic, if you get what I mean. Chris, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna take a sip because I do a really bad job of hydrating during my streams. And since like it's just me, I can talk endlessly and it's problematic. Yeah. Yo. It's good though. I highly recommend. It's a good laugh. Yes, Joe, you need to watch this. You need to watch this. It's really, really funny. But I don't know. You said you didn't like Kaguya sama, so I'm wondering if you're going to like it. All I'm going to say is that this is a good rom com. Chris, if you're looking for a rom com, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I mean, it's a different kind of funny from Kaguya sama. I will say that. Kaguya sama is very high schooly, and this is like it's funny in the sense because Tamon has got this duality. I will say that like one of my favorite things, spoiler, not spoiler, is whenever he like charms a girl, their head quote unquote explodes. I don't know if it was like in the intro song, they started like blurring their heads out. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I don't know if it has a dub. It might have a dub, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I really actually enjoyed the voice acting for the sub so much too. It like is giving so many levels for this show. So Tamon's B-side, if you have not watched it, this one is going to be like a super highly recommend from me. And this is gonna be on my list for a while. I'm not dropping this. I might pick up the manga, but don't quote me. All right, moving on because I could stay on this forever. The animation in this series is insane. A lot more than you usually get in a rom com. Recovering Elitist. Yes, 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 yes. It is really good. I actually was very surprised by the animation because I'm like, they're doing like a lot of work on this. Like even the dancing, it's not like the best, but like it's quality. Like it's decent quality. And I thought that like they put in a lot of hard work for Tamon's B-side. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I guess you could say it could be like similar to Romantic Killer. It's got that type of humor, not Kaguya-sama humor, because Kaguya-sama humor is very slapstick. Speaking of Kaguya-sama, Kaguya-sama Stairway to Adulthood. Okay, this was nice. I'm gonna say this was nice. They split it up into 2 episodes if you watch on Crunchyroll, like roughly 20 something minutes of each. Chris, they are ending Kaguya-sama with the next one, and I think the next one's gonna be a movie. So I have a whole rant here. Let's see if I can keep myself on task. So cool. We did this. This was really fun. It was nice to see like the crew again. It was nice to see Miyuki and Kaguya, reaching adulthood. That's like the best way I can say this. Like, can I say this? I mean, they both lost their virginity to each other. Am I allowed to say that? Anyway, so like that's what this is all about, to an extent. But you want to know what upset me though? It was good laughs. I loved it. The crew was together, but there was like very little screen time with Ishigami Yu and best girl Fujiwara Chika. And so like I've read the manga, and what's gonna happen is that so the damned one said it right. It's gonna be an original ending. I'm actually looking forward to the original ending. but they like skipped all of Ishigami Yu's arc. So Ishigami Yu, if you haven't read the manga, has this whole character arc. His character is like my second favorite character in Kaguya-sama, just because of all the character development he gets. I feel like he gets better character development than Kaguya did, and he grows like so much. And like his end story is just like chef's kiss, right? They just skipped all that shit and they said, we're just gonna do Stairway to Adulthood and we're just gonna show you all about Miyuki and Kaguya. And granted, this show is all about Kaguya and Miyuki, but like, don't we watch this because we love the side characters too? Don't we watch this because Fujiwara Chika is like fucking hilarious and I can't go a single episode without her? And I mean, they could have given us more Ishigami Yu. So I'm sad about that. That's my gripe. That's my rant. But aside from that, this was good. I enjoyed it. If you are a Kaguya-sama fan and you didn't know that this was out, this dropped like on New Year's Eve. Didn't know that it was going to drop here in America on New Year's Eve, but we roll with it. It was good. It was funny. It was nice to see some of our faves, and it was nice to see like the development. But, you know, yeah. I'm looking forward to the original ending, though. Definitely looking forward to the original ending. Yeah, Erin, Fujiwara had me dying of laughter in that episode too. She just always does. There's no one funnier than Chika. I'm just gonna say that. The damned one. Yeah, I'm reading that right. Cool. They massacred my boy. Yeah, they did. Sad about that, but we're moving on. All right. There's still some on this list that I haven't watched yet, and like watch it drop on one of those. Look at that. Look at that. It's like I know. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Yes. All right. So this one I actually watched like an hour ago. I watched this one an hour ago because it dropped today. Like everything that dropped today, there's like a 99% chance that I haven't seen it. But this one I watched. And this is another rom-com. So like Tamon's B-side is definitely taking the cake for like rom-com of this season. Maybe rom-com of the year. I don't know. But this one right here, this one had me like giggling hardcore because our main characters, I want to say main characters, but I'm going to be honest with you because this is quite possibly the fastest confession date anything that I've ever seen. Like everything happened in episode 1 and I was like, is this the best rom-com of all time? Like, no time wasted. Everyone, like, gets with the person that they want to be with and, like, no problems. Like, I love it. Anyway, so, yeah, I was, like, very shocked by this. It's, like, really cute. Main characters that they introduce in this episode are Suzuki and Tani. And Suzuki is like this really charismatic, bubbly girl. She has pink hair and these little buns, and she just like chats a lot. And Tani is like super chill, like pretty straightforward and like not very talkative. So it's like I don't know, like Suzuki is like that girl, like super awkward. She has like all these crazy facial expressions, but I'm not gonna lie, like very relatable. Like her inner monologue person, very relatable because honest to God, like you're talking to your crush gives you one word answers, but like the fact that your crush doesn't talk a lot, you feel like success, like I got a response from him, or like you ask him to walk home with you and he says yes randomly and it's like success, like you didn't expect these results. But she's also like really goofy, like I don't even know how to explain it. She's just like maybe Fujiwara Chika goofy? Is that the best way to say it? But like not that goofy because Fujiwara Chika is like goofy, like too much goofy, but goofy too much and it works for me. I don't know how to say it. Recovering illicit lead is so awkward. Oh my God, it is so awkward, but it is so good. I love it. Erin says this is a cute show. Nina says, I read it. It's so cute. If you want to read it, I heard it's like only 60 something chapters for anybody who's like a huge manga reader here. So yeah, like, I mean, go for it. It was really good. Derek says, I also watched this like an hour ago. I had no idea it dropped so early, like at 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. Wow. That's like really early. Okay. Aaron says it's like high school version of Love is Hard for an Otaku. Have you read it? I'm like actually really curious. But you know, I like really loved it because it just felt like very honest and the characters felt really natural. Like they felt genuinely real. So that's why I think I am loving it. But it had like all these cute, quirky, funny moments. So like if you're looking for a rom-com, this one is also a good one. Cyborg Frankie says sounds suspicious. Makiti Jiraiya, I've seen something about this, but I haven't watched or read it. Like I said, if you like a good rom com, this looks like it's gonna be up there. Chris says, I love it is hard for otaku, adding to the watch list. Yes, add it to your watch list. I'm not trying to super duper add to everyone's watch list, but if you have room, watch it. If you don't, please don't sacrifice your sleep time to have an endless watch list like I currently do. We're covering elitist, lots of short manga getting adapted lately. You want to know something? I appreciate that because like I feel like a lot of short manga are just like slept on, and sometimes they just need to like put it out there. Cooper, hey Cooper, thanks for joining the live. I appreciate it. And hey, if you're new here, haven't been to the channel before, make sure you subscribe. This is definitely some of my abnormal content. This is how I am when I'm normally live, but my other content is a little bit more structured, more analysis heavy if you haven't been here before. And obviously if you've been here and you're here in the live, make sure you like the stream. It'll help a ton. Thanks. Anyway, moving on. All right, but yeah, watch this. You and I are polar opposites. I will not be taking this off my list. This will be staying with me. All right. Chris, adding to your watch list hashtag. Oh man. Okay. Hanakimi. All right then. Let's see. What do we say about Hanakimi? Okay, so Hanakimi, I ended up reading first. I didn't think this would ever get an anime, never thought about it getting anime, and never really like had a desire for it to get an anime, but it got animated and I was really excited about it because I read it, and from like the 5 years ago that I read it, I liked the story. My friend let me borrow her manga and I said, this is good. I like it. And then I watched the first 2 episodes. There's another episode out. There's 3 episodes out now because it had like a 2-episode premiere. Speaking of which, I have been enjoying like the 2-episode premieres. Like we got a 2-episode premiere of Hanakimi, we got a 2-episode premiere of Jujutsu Kaisen, and then we got like a 1 hour, literally a whole 48 minutes, like with no intro, no outro song from Sentenced to Be a Hero. So like, if they could keep doing this like every season, I think that would actually be fantastic. I feel like it adds to the excitement, and I feel like if they can do this and then give us a break at the end of the season instead of the middle of the season, like what JJK is doing, because JJK had their 2 episodes, they're gonna run like a special in the middle, and then, you know, end at the same time, I think, as everyone else. Joel says, I would never sacrifice my sleep schedule. LOL. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, I like doing daytime lives, but just due to the nature of life changing, nighttime lives might be the vibe. It might be the vibe now. Anyway, so back to Hanakimi. So Hanakimi is very interesting in the way that it started off because one, the animation feels funny. I can't say that it feels stiff. It just feels funny. I don't know what it is about it. It's not like feeling like smooth. In addition to that, I don't know if anyone's read Hanakimi here, but like, I need somebody to correct me if I'm wrong. The story does not start off that creepy. In the manga, from what I recall, she goes to Japan to like meet her idol, but also to help him like rejoin the track team because she like enjoyed watching him in track. She kind of like fell in love with like his athleticism and him as an athlete, and he kind of just like quits. And I don't know if this was like announced like in the story beforehand. So she basically goes to Japan, cuts off all her hair, joins an all boys school so that she can convince her track idol to rejoin track. But like in this story, and there goes the fucking lights again. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to my husband about this because this is crazy, guys. Give me 1 second again. All right, guys. So if you guys ever set up your home to be smart, make sure you learn all the ins and outs of it before you start doing it live. Because I didn't. And so here we are. Anyway, Hanakimi, I don't remember it being that creepy. I remember it being like a little bit, you know, better than this. But just based off people's reactions and the way that it's been presented, it's really creepy because it seems like, I think her name is Mizuki, can't remember her name at this point. It feels like she like stalked him. Like she came from the United States, went all the way to Japan just because she wanted to meet him and like fakes being a boy and everything like that. So it's actually kind of crazy. And the way they presented it is like really creepy. So I don't know, man. I feel like I'm going to continue watching it just because I really enjoyed the manga. But I will say that I am not loving this adaptation that much. I am not loving it. I'm not going to say like it's a must watch for that reason. Like if you're interested in seeing what I'm talking about, check it out. It's like supposed to be a cute rom-com to an extent because she disguises herself as a boy, but she's actually really bad at concealing the fact that she's not a not a guy, she's a girl, and she's like always at risk of like exposing herself, and people find out pretty quickly that she's not a guy. So it's like, what are we doing here, girl? Like you're doing this all wrong. So anyway, that's by the by. Cool. Yeah. Hanakimi. The premiere was not as exciting. All right, cool. Chris, I want to start watching Sentence to Be Hero. I mean, a whole hour. If you got a whole hour to sit down, I highly recommend it. But we could get to that. Jordan, I feel like I need a feel series drop of show so I can simply binge it. I don't know if I have one for you. Joel, I'm used to it at this point. I'm sorry. Recovering Elite Sentenced to Be Hero is giving better advice than Cleva Test really last year. Might be a hot take, but that's where I'm at. I really enjoyed Cleva Test. I'm actually, for those of you who put me on Cleva Test, thank you. I appreciate you. You're a real one. Also, I saw that Cleva Test is getting a season 2, which I'm really excited for. Sentenced to Be Hero is definitely a little bit darker, but again, I want to talk about it, but we'll get to that. Spencer! Hey! Welcome. Chris, you know what? I want to let you know, like, I think these are not timed lights because I've been in this room multiple times. I've just never been in this room with the TV off. And considering the TV is off, I don't know if like that is like synced to the system. It's really crazy, girl. I don't know how to explain it. I'm so sorry. I didn't set this shit up. Anyway, oh God. Hey Riasat, welcome. Yeah, so quick. If you just joined the live, make sure you like the stream. I think this is the most times I've ever said that, and I'm not hydrating. Problematic. Let me stop. But make sure you like the stream. It'll really help me out, and it'll eventually get me there to the point where you guys can eventually play Meltax. Okay, cool. Dark Moon, the Blood Arter. All right, so real quick, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one. This is a super duper like guilty pleasure for me because this is attached to like a K-pop group that I follow called ENHYPEN. Like the intro and the outro song for this anime is done by that same group. It's like this whole lore thing. I watched the first episode today. I low-key regret wasting my time is not the right word. Let me say that better. I regret choosing my very selective allotted time to watch this instead of like something else. You know what I mean? Like I could have watched Hell's Paradise. I could have watched Trigun Stargaze. I could have watched something else. Instead, I watched this. And then after I finished watching it, I said, I knew that I was not potentially gonna love it because it's like a reverse harem with vampires. And the story is not giving. It's definitely one of those like lower tier anime where you kind of just watch and it's just not giving it for me. And it's making me a little bit upset. Oh, yeah. All sorts of technical difficulties today. Can you guys tell that I was not prepared because my computer's also about to die. Give me a second. You guys can totally tell that I was not prepared for this. Anyway, yeah. So the plot's not plotting here. I might watch the next episode because, interestingly enough, if you're a K-pop girly, then you know. So in Hyphen and this other not K-pop group, they're actually a J-pop group called N Team. They also have like a webtoon story. This is a webtoon, by the way. They also have a webtoon story, and I believe it's also called Dark Moon, but like gray something. I don't even know. It's all in the same universe basically. So in episode 2, from what they previewed, um, they're like supposed to be werewolves, and they're supposed to be like rivals to the vampires in this story, and it's just like, so like let me watch the next episode and then like think about like if I really want to continue this, because I don't know, this is just not it. It's not it. And as I said in my winter 2026 like video of what I'm watching, this was going to be a guilty pleasure, but very high chance that I would drop it, and it's already looking like I'm going to drop it. So real quick while I try to charge my laptop. This has possibly got to be the weirdest live that I've ever done, and probably the weirdest live you guys will ever join. I promise. It'll get better. Anyway, all right, we're moving on as I catch up with the chats because I'm like doing a really bad job at reading them today. Sorry, guys. Where did I leave off? Yeah, Clevitas was really good. Riasat said, Sentence to be Hero. Speaking of which, now we can talk about Sentence to be Hero all we want. Sentence to be Hero has the potential to be anime of the year. All right, so Sentence to be Hero's first episode was really good, like really good. I feel like the cold opening that they had like really set us up for like what we could expect. It's like very dark and moody, kind of like Clevitas is, but Clevitas had like light moments, and I felt like the animation was also lighter. This is just so moody and almost feels like grungy in a sense that it just gives like a very different vibe from Clevitas, where I can understand recovering elitists saying like they enjoy it more than Clevitas. Anyway, the full 58 minutes was just like a nonstop development. I won't say action, development, because it starts off very oddly with a character you obviously don't know whose name, like you don't know that person's name. They're running away, and it's just like absolute chaos. The concept of this, which I guess I should have started with, is really interesting. So obviously, as you can tell, it's called Sentence to be a Hero. In this world, in this story universe, being a hero is actually a bad thing. Being a hero is like you were a criminal, you committed a heinous crime, and they have now sentenced you to be a hero for life. Like, you know how heroes often sacrifice their lives and stuff like that to help others? Well, these people die and then they revive you, and then you die and then they revive you, and you continue to be a hero forever. And the shitty part about it is that you feel the pain when you die. And they say like it's really crazy, I guess, because you're a criminal, your soul gets dragged through hell, so you go to hell after you die, then you get dragged back into your body, they have to recover your body, and all this shit is like really fucking manic, man. And I'm just like, whoa, you know what, this checks out for me, because people who want to be heroes, like, all cool, I get it, like justice, you want to do good for your community, yada yada, you want to help people. But like, to be honest, being a hero and like the drawbacks of being a hero feels really bad, because you're always at risk of like injury, you're always at risk of potentially dying, and at the end of the day, what's the reward? What is the reward? So like, I like the spin of this story. Chris, Meltax coming soon. That's funny. Oh god. Yeah. Nina said something about watching this for the plot. Yeah, it I am assuming you're referring to Dark Moon. Yeah, we watched for the plot. Um, man. Anyway, so Sentence to Be Hero has got this unique concept. I think that's why, like, one, it's really worth watching. Um, the damned one. The stream is where we surpass our technical difficulties. Yes, 100% yes. Um, okay, cool. Yeah, Recovering Elitist probably says it best. It felt like a movie. Even the production carries the vibe. It did, for the most part. There were some action scenes, maybe I'm being a little nitpicky about, that were like a little bit funny, but for the most part, like I liked the animation style. The animation style is a little bit different compared to, like, I want to say the run of the mill, because I guess you could say for the most part, I'm gonna say this very lightly, treading very lightly. Please don't take this super seriously because I'm not an expert animation. I don't know much about animation. I just talk about anime. Okay, cool. It feels like less run of the mill because at some point when you watch so much anime, some of them just start to look very similar in terms of like art style. So this being different as it is also helps it stand out. I feel like it's got a lot of how do I want to say this? It's got a lot of, I don't want to say plot devices. Maybe plot devices is the word. Plot devices going for it. Like it uses a lot of, like, I guess the dynamic of the story really well, and the way they've staged it. It's like good shit. Like quality good shit. Um this gives me 90s vibes, Chris says. Yes, it really does give 90s vibes. I like highly recommend you check it out. It's like good. They be saying a hero with a hard R in this show. Oh my god. Anyway, okay. Spencer, wait, Mel, how do you look younger after having a baby? Do I look younger? I feel like I look real fucking tired. How does this look younger than you? But thank you, I appreciate it. What else can I say about Sentence to Be Hero? I don't know, man. Like Xylo, who's our hero, our main character, he really does not be given a shit. He's just like, please, just let me do my shit and get the fuck out of here because I don't want to be here. I'm clearly a criminal, and this is like just all sorts of like not for me. I don't want to talk about the ending, but if I will say this, please tune in, watch the whole thing in one sitting if you can. I couldn't do it in one sitting, unfortunately, because life. But when I sat down to watch at least like 30 straight minutes of it, which was fantastic, I was so shook by the end. I said, you know what? By minute 35, I was feeling that. I was feeling that this was what the story was. And this is why Xylo is where he's at. And even just like why he's been branded a criminal, I kind of started to feel that at some point. So it's real good. Watch it. If you get anything out of the stream, things that you should watch is Sentenced to Be a Hero, Tamon's B-side. Yeah, let's go with those two. I will say you and I are polar opposites as like a soft third because I really enjoyed it, but if you like rom-coms. Oh, we're already an hour into the stream. Cool. This is actually going a lot faster than I expected. Real quick tangent before I continue. I started watching Drops of God on Apple Plus. Super unrelated. I know all I talk about is anime, but I do watch other stuff. I started watching Drops of God on Apple Plus because I went to Apple Plus event in New York City in December with my husband, and they had like all the popular Apple shows that were going on, like Pluribus, the F1 movie, the morning show, the studio. What else was there? I can't remember what other shows there were. Oh, Severance. Obviously, they had like different sets, and you could like pretend to be like part of the crew, and like there's all these weird acting things. Anyway, it's a really cool event. Nonetheless, so I saw Drops of God at this event, and I said, you know what? It's about wine. Melissa loves wine. And oh wow, I just dropped my whole government name. Well, now you guys know, but please continue to call me Mel. I love wine, and I just was like, yeah, I'm really gonna check this show out. So as I go to check the show out, because I am me and I research every single freaking thing I watch, I came to learn that Drops of God is actually a manga. So Apple TV adapted a show based off a manga, and apparently this manga is also getting an anime adaptation this year. Yeah, I just wanted to like drop that real quick because that's currently happening right now. I'm watching Drops of God, and it's just like a really cool concept where uh this like person in the story like of the manga, I think it's two male characters, but um drops of god Drops of God, like the live adaptation, it is a woman, a French woman, and a Japanese man. The Japanese man's character is still the same. And basically, the girl is the son of like a famous like chef curator. And they're very estranged. The man passes away. He says, "You got to come to Japan," because she's in France. "You got to come to Japan because I'm dying." And he dies, and there's this whole reading of the will. And at the reading of the will, she's there, and this other guy is there. This other guy apparently is her father's protege, been training to be like a wine sommelier. I guess that's the word, like under him. And the will basically said, "Look, so I got all this money. My money is like not money, but he has all these assets. One of his assets is his wine collection, and his wine collection is basically worth like 150 million US dollars, roughly. I'm just estimating here. I've only seen the first episode too. So basically, you could be super duper wealthy, but there are some conditions. He wants to give it to one of these two, his daughter in the live action. I think it's a dude in the manga, or his protege. Protege has the same name in the manga, but the trick is that they've given them both a glass of wine. They have to taste said glass of wine, and they're going to give them a month to figure out what year the wine is, what vintage it is, and what grape it is, or something like that. And I was just like, whoa, this is actually really intense, because how do you guess what kind of grape it is? How do you guess what kind of vintage it is and like what year it is? Like, you need to really be good at it. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. If you're looking for a new live action that's also a manga that is getting an anime adaptation, Drops of God. So far, I've really enjoyed the first episode. And I like the fact that at least the live adaptation for the Apple Plus one, it's like in multiple languages. So like it's in French, it's in English, it's in Japanese, it's like all over the place, but it's really cool the way that they do it. Anyway, so yeah, Vigilantes. Who is they adapted the Drops of God? I'm assuming you're asking who adapted the Drops of God. I mean, I don't know who's adapting the anime, but Apple TV adapted it as a live action, and it's really good. I looked it up. It has 400 plus chapters because I really thought about reading it, and I said, wow, 400 plus chapters is a hell of a lot of chapters for wine, but it sounds really cool. Yeah, Chris, let me know where you find Drops of God, because I actually am looking to casually read that, because I'm hoping they've got like some really cool like wine stuff in there. Spencer, Mel, have you seen Fire Force yet? Yes, I think it's on here, and yes, I've watched it, so I'll get to that in a minute. So yes, Vigilante Season 2. Vigilante Season 2 is off to a really cute start. It's like a soft introduction. They are introducing, I guess, the plot of what's to come for this season. And I just like that it was like really chill. It was just like fun. You know, Vigilantes has been fun in comparison to like the later seasons of MHA, because MHA was really tense. I don't know how many like seasons we're getting of Vigilantes. I heard it's only like 100 something chapters. So if that's the case, maybe we get like 3 seasons at the most, I'm thinking. So I'm really curious to see where the story goes. Obviously, they're already showing like Koichi develop even more abilities like in the first episode. So I'm like thinking to myself, are we fast tracking some of this shit, or is this how the story actually goes? But I am looking forward to like the development of like Koichi mostly. Obviously, we haven't seen Knuckle Duster. We haven't seen him in the trailers. We don't see him in the first one. I wonder if they asked about him in the first episode. I don't know. It's really cute that Pop Step, though, is like a traveling idol now. I think that's super dope. Good for you, Pop Step. Good for you. We love that. Anyway, but yeah, it's off to a nice start. But I assume that it's going to pick up because it's already showed like big action scenes coming in season 2 in the not season 2, in episode 2 of the preview. And like it seems like it's like maybe an extension of season 1, where there's like this drug that's going around, Trigger, and they're showing a lot of like Aizawa Sensei Eraserhead. So like I'm actually, that's what I'm most looking forward to. But they're already like showing promise on that they're going to show us like more about Eraserhead and his backstory, just based on how that first episode was split up. Anyway, all right, moving on. That was good. Watch JJK be the last one. Did I jinx myself? Oh, there's 2 on this list I still haven't seen. That's wild. Absolutely insane. Like, there's so much to watch, everyone. There's so much to watch. Monkey See Jiraiya. I still need to start Fire Force. Yeah, Spencer, get past the fan service. You'll appreciate a great freaking show. Yeah, there's quite a bit of fan service, but it gets better. It always gets better. Vigilante's Peak, so glad it's back. Derek, yes, absolutely. I'm so excited it's back too. I need to watch season 1 of Vigilante so I can watch season 2. Joel, I highly recommend. Make sure you check it out, man. Spencer, Vigilantes is good. Totally different vibe from MHA, but that's a good thing. Yeah, it's got like a more of adult vibe. Like it's still fun, but the vibe is like very different nonetheless. Chris, I like Vigilantes. I'm ready to see how Trigger connects to the main. I just know it has to. Yes, okay, so going back to Vigilantes real quick, because I haven't watched Darwin Incident yet. Darwin Incident is on Prime. I hate going to Prime to watch stuff. It just pisses me off a whole ton. Even though I want to watch shit, but yeah. Dorito, hi, I just subscribed to this channel and I noticed there are many familiar names in here somehow. Dorito, isn't it funny how it worked out that way? But what's going on? Thanks for joining the stream. Joel, actually, Hell's Paradise was the first one to come up, and I said I haven't seen it yet, so that got removed right away. I just started watching Hell's Paradise before I hopped on the stream. I got like 30 seconds in, and then, life happened. So Hell's Paradise is going to be watched at some point this week. That was one of the ones I was really looking forward to. But wasn't Hell's Paradise one of the ones I also dropped today? Because I didn't get to watch much of anything that dropped today, unfortunately. All right, here we go, because everyone's talking about Fire Force. Fire Force, first episode. I am so glad that they did some explaining in the first episode, because the way that last season, it's the same season, but the way that the first part ended was really weird. Like, I can't even put my finger on how weird it is, or it was. So, like, the fact that they kind of explained, like, what happened, and then you had Shinra just, like, looking hella different, I was like, whoa, this is actually really insane. Very weird. But I feel like they added additional lore to, like, the doppelgangers, and they explained some things that I'm like, you know what? I'm with it. I'm really with it. So I feel like it was a really good episode to, like, bring us back into Fire Force, and connect us to, like, them talking about doppelgangers a lot and trying to uncover the lore of doppelgangers in part 1 of season 3. So for them to just pick right back up, it felt like very natural. I'm glad they didn't spend a lot of time, like, recapping either. But it's crazy that, like, Shinra has been, like, different for like 3 months. Let's just say that he's been different for like 3 months, so much so that there's like a little bit of drama. But anyway, you'll see it when you watch it. If you haven't seen the first episode, that's not one of the ones I'm trying to spoil right now. Anyway, Derek, the world building in the latest Fire Force episode is great. Yes, I will agree and attest to that. It was really good to see how they're building towards it. It looks like there's hella pillars, though. Like, there are, like, what, 5 pillars? Like, the end of the world is coming. The end of the world is coming. Anyway, Also, we finally got the big reveal involving Sister Iris. Yeah! So I want to say something, but I don't want to say something because I don't know who's watched, but is Sister Iris, like, her doppelganger, the big one, like, the one that they keep mentioning throughout the series? Like, I think you might know what I'm talking about when I say it, but, like, it's that character that everyone's been talking about. I mean, I don't know if it's even a character. It's been a thing for the most part, but that's what it felt like when they said that at the end. And I was like, wait a second, am I missing something here? Am I understanding this correctly? It's like the same thing when I watched JJK. I said, whoa, is that Yuji's mom? Okay, I see what you did there. Oh, okay, so I haven't seen this one yet. Um, as far as I understand, as far as I understand, um, the what do I need to spin this? I'm just gonna spin it. Whatever. As far as I understand, the people who adapted In the Clear Moonlit Dusk adapted what is it? A Condition Called Love, which people did not like. They did not like it. I enjoyed it. I went on to read the manga and finish it, and it's actually quite a pleasant story. What did I tell you guys? Who heard me say that JJK was going to be the last one? Yeah, I just knew it. I don't know how this works. I heard it's random, but apparently it's not as random as I thought because I knew it was going to come last. Anyway, so yeah. Let me catch up on what y'all are talking about real quick. Yeah, Derek, we were trying not to say that. Let's move on. Okay, but anyway, we're here. So you liked it, Aaron. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I'm gonna watch that, and we're gonna see how it goes because I did enjoy A Condition Called Love. People didn't like it, but I thought it was good. I thought it was good. So I have good hopes and expectations, not high, but good hopes for In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. I also like how pretty everyone looks. It's just really freaking pretty. All right, here we go, everyone. The one that I've been waiting for. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3. Because let me tell you, a lot of people on threads told me, like, you know, how Mappa naturally, like, baits us, at least me, baits me with, like, the also, like, fine-ass men that they have. But, like, can I just say, when they introduced, like, the character design of Zenin Naoya, I said, oh my god, am I gonna have a new husband? And then I started watching the first, like 2 minutes of the episode, and he's a chauvinist. He's absolutely sexist. Like, oh my god, can we not? Gege, you write some really interesting, like, male characters. Like, really interesting male characters. Very questionable. Can we bring Nanami back? Because Nanami was high quality. But according to people, I'll have another husband coming up soon, so we'll see. There's going to be a new husband material that presents themselves in Season 3. But if I could just have Nanami back, I will totally forgive everything you've done, Gege, to me up until this point, because you have absolutely traumatized the fuck out of me. Anyway, no, I'm not clairvoyant, but you want to know something? I saw this coming, didn't I? I definitely saw this coming. It's definitely my quirk, Chris. It has to be. Has to be. Nina, they're prettier in the manga. See, going back to damn, that's just such a mouthful, man. Can't they make the title shorter? Moonlit Dusk. Let's just call it that. Moonlit Dusk. I did see, like, the art style, and I thought, I want to read this. But, you know, I want to read everything, and we can't read everything just like I can't watch everything. Yes, Yuta does deserve Best Actor of the Year. Can I just say my whole mouth and my jaw and my whole face dropped when I saw, like, what happened, what transpired. Again, not trying to spoil it, because this JJK community is too much for known to be spoilers. And yes, I said in the beginning that I might spoil some stuff, but you know what? I'm gonna try not to. But I'm just gonna say this. He had me on the floor, just dead. I was just like, wow. Also, thank you, Mappa, for giving us 2-episode premiere, because that back-to-back was fantastic. Choso is proving to be, like, new comedy for me, because the dynamic trio are just not together, and I'm just like, and I'm glad that they explained that why Maki's alive, because me saying Maki's alive is not a spoiler, because technically Mappa spoiled it for us all in the trailers. Ha. Yeah, Mappa is a whole thirst trap. Not Mappa. I'm gonna say JJK and Mappa. They make JJK a thirst trap, because the actual character designs from, like, Jujutsu Kaisen's manga they don't look that fine, okay? They're like a little bit rough around the edges. I see what Gege was trying to put down, but Mappa said, but what? What if we make JJK the biggest thirst trap of all time? Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Let's do that, guys. I saw the JJK movie in the theaters, but this hits different at home. See, I knew that it was going to come out for me to watch at home at some point, and after like what like Demon Slayer has done to me, I just don't go to the movies to watch stuff unless I know that it's like a movie, like 100 meters, which I haven't watched yet. But once I get to watching it, don't worry, there's going to be a video on 100 meters. Your new husband's name is Takaba. All right. If that's what you say, Chris, my husband, baby daddy Nanami deserves to come back. Doesn't he? Doesn't he? His sacrifice was just not. I mean, I get it, but like at the same time, I don't want it. I don't want it. I think Nina might overlook Naoya's negatives. Really, Nina? I mean, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Some person said on Threads, like, he's not one of those fix-em characters, and I said, nah, I'm not in the business of fixing men. I'm not in the business of any fix-em characters. If I gotta fix them, I don't want them. Don't want them. Anyway, we're moving on. So yeah, all I know is that, yes, Yuta was definitely like deserves Actors Award of the Year, whatever you want to call it. He really had me going. Even like the dynamic change in his voice, like from like just being very antagonizing to being very like bubbly and light. I was like, oh my god, Yuta, you had me going for a second. I am so glad you're not this person. And then on top of that, yes, Choso yelling Yuji when Yuji finally decides to call him Big Brother in order to explain to everyone else who the hell he was. Yeah, that was another one that made me laugh. That whole scene with Naoya versus Choso, I said, oh my god. Obviously, if you saw the thumbnail, Naoya is like fighting Choso, and just in the middle of the fight, he decides to go like this. Like, that man had great audacity. Absolute great audacity to do something like that. But then, like something else happened to him. So now I'm actually kind of curious. I guess I'll see in future episodes what actually happened to him. What is his fate? Is he still around or not? What's the deal? But it's actually kind of crazy how they were like, oh, bro, so your daddy died. He died in that fire from season 2, where Nanami got half scorched, and where we thought Maki died but didn't die. He's gone. So your daddy is gone. You're supposed to inherit and become the new head of the Zenin clan, but there are some conditions here. They said, so like if Gojo is dead and if he's like not mentally there, then that means Megumi becomes the head of the clan according to some contingency. Good night, Spencer. Thanks for joining. There's some kind of contingency going on here where like if Gojo is not like able and capable, he's not able and capable, then Megumi becomes head of the clan. And he's like, So my first thought actually was like, so does that mean that he's going to look for Gojo to let him out? Nah, I thought wrong. I forgot that this was JJK, and I forgot that everyone's a menace in the show. And so he said, bet, I'm gonna go kill Megumi. And he's like, where's Megumi? Well, Megumi's looking for Yuji. And he's like, bet, I'm gonna go find Yuji. And I'm gonna wait until Megumi shows up, and I'm gonna kill them both. And I said, wow. I genuinely forgot what I was watching for a second. It's been like 2 years since season 2. I really didn't know what I was getting into in this season. People said this shit was crazy, but like, it's genuinely the culling games. Like, they're, oh wait, and then somebody mentioned it earlier. Let me just reiterate. At the end of like the second episode, and I feel like this is not totally a spoiler, but at the end of the second episode, they explain the rules of the culling games, okay? That's the name of this whole season. They just listed the text there. They just listed the text. Do you know how many times I had to pause one or both episodes just to read text. Like, one, it was for that moment, and two, it was the moment where Yuta and Yuji are fighting, and they're explaining like being able to read the abilities of someone through cursed energy, and I'm just like, this is going too fast. I legit cannot read anything that is being said right now. JJK is one of those shows that definitely has to be a dub. Like, there has to be dub. You gotta watch it in dub sometime, because what they do to you is real fucked up with all the text. Okay? They do so much with the text. Anyway, as you guys are going off in the chat, let me catch up. Yeah, Rize movie was good. I didn't watch that in theaters. I waited for it to come out because it came out like in October. There was a lot that came out in October, and I still was not incapable to like leave my house yet. So I think I'm leaving the house now, everyone. I'm leaving the house now. Daddy Yuta ain't going out like that. Wow. I didn't realize that Yuta was like on a daddy's list. That's interesting. All right. Yuta is a G. Yes, he is. Ryasat Sukuna is my favorite JJK character. Can I just say, like, seeing Sukuna for like half a second was very disappointing. I was like, give me more. I want to see more of him. But as far as I understand, in every single trailer, or not trailer, every single spoiler chapter I've seen, I guess he'll be back. We don't have to be concerned about that. Jiraiya. Yeah, I was very concerned during the manga when it was showed that Yuta was going to be going after Yuji. Yeah, see, like, when they ended season 2 and they were like, Yuta is going to go after Yuji, like, public enemy number 1 now, I was like, wait, I don't understand. You guys are both Gojo students. Like, wouldn't the case be that you would want to help him out? So I'm glad they explained everything that needed to be explained. Anyway, yes, Chris, Maki is that chick. I'm glad they brought her back. I'm glad they explained why she like lived, because I needed a full-on explanation because everybody else like did not survive or was like thoroughly scorched from it. And you know what? Her scars look pretty good. They're not bad. Obviously, no super clear porcelain skin anymore, but she looks awesome. Derek, Naoya got hoed by the contract Gojo and Toji made. Yo, I did not expect that contract to be coming back like that, because I feel like I saw that contract happening in season 2, right? That happened in the beginning of season 2 from those like first 5 episodes that we saw. Yeah. You guys are just going off with this JJK stuff. Mel, you might need to get a magnifying glass if you read the JJK manga. I mean, I wear glasses, so that should help, right? I just need to like use my glasses and I should be all good. Cyborg, I was inebriated and chose to skip the rules. No, that's wild, because there's like 8 something rules, and some of those rules are like contingent of other rules, and I'm like, yo, this is really intricate. Like, there's like camps and villages, and I'm like, you know, Gege is a very creative person. Very creative. I will say that. I think the rules was up for like 4 seconds, says Joel. Yeah, the rules were up for like half a second, and if you did not pause that, you are SOL. Yeah, that was definitely some interesting stuff. You definitely want to pay attention when they talk about the culling game rules. It can be kind of confusing. You know what? They didn't feel very confusing. They felt very straightforward. Maybe the anime made it more straightforward, because some readers have said that the first 2 episodes were like better than expected because culling games, and from what I understand, Shinjuku, which comes after this, right, were a hot garbage mess. Not garbage, but it was just like a hot mess, and people didn't understand what was going on most of the time. So I'm just gonna say, like, I love that I'm hearing they're elevating the manga through the anime, because that's what you hope when you get an adaptation, right? That's what you hope when you get an anime for a manga adaptation. Spencer, C-Mel, I didn't know Yuta was on that list either. That was my response. That was my reaction. I was like, you know, but everyone has their preferences. Don't get me wrong. Everyone has their preferences. I have my preferences. I don't know if I really stated what my preferences are. Maybe one day I'll state what my preferences are. But, you know, all you need to know is that Nanami is definitely at the top of the list, along with who else is at the top of that list? There's some other character. I don't know why I'm forgetting him right now. I'm so sorry. Derek, right before Toji died, he told Gojo that Megumi was going to be sold off to the Zenin clan. So, there you go. That's when that happened. Okay, cool. Jiraiya, I also haven't read it in a while since the chapter dropped, to be honest. So, it might not be as confusing as I remember. I mean, look, from what I understand, there was a lot of confusion. So, I think if you say it was confusing, I'll believe you. Chris, the way some folk have explained the rules on social media, it makes it sound wild, but it's JJK, so I just thought that was normal. Can I just say that, like, the fact, and I guess we're done here. I guess the fact that it's kind of like expected for JJK to be confusing is absolutely wild. The fact that it's standard expectation for it to be confusing is actually also wild, and I just don't understand. I just don't understand, like, how you get a story like that and people just like continue with it. But yeah, guys, so that's my first impressions of what's going on. JJK has been great. Tamon's B-side has been fantastic. I am constantly checking for when the next episode comes out because I don't know which day it comes out, to be honest. That one came out also on the 31st. I believe that's a Wednesday, so it comes out on Wednesdays. And I just need them to drop all the episodes now. Sentenced to be a Hero was a really good start. I will say that when something starts off so good like that, especially when it's like an action or a fantasy, I always feel just a little bit jaded. So I need to see like the next episode, which doesn't come out until the 15th, because they did a 1-hour episode. So they said, oh, we're going to take a break next week, which is this week. So we're only going to come out on the 15th, which is... When is the 15th? Is that Wednesday? Today is the 11th. It's Thursday, I think. I think it's Thursday. It's Thursday or Friday. Whatever. No, it's Thursday. Okay, thank you. It's Thursday. So we won't get a new episode until Thursday. And I don't know. We'll see. But I like... Whenever I see shows like that, I like to temper my expectations because sometimes it's so good that you're just like, but what are the next episodes like? Right? That's where I always like to pause myself a little bit. Anyway, Spencer, I think how season 3 started makes me like Yuji more. He's just traversing through the ghost town, makes you immersed in what Sukuna did even more. Yes, actually. I have a question for manga readers. Why is it that people don't love Yuji? Like I've seen like a lot of like Yuji, not hate, but not like a lot of Yuji love. Like when I first met Yuji in season 1, I was like, I love you, Yuji. You're fantastic. You're just like this really simple guy, very straightforward, and like you have certain means. And like I don't want to make this super strong delineation because this character means a lot to me and he's my everything. But like at some point, at least in this season, I was like, I feel like Yuji low-key reminds me of Ichigo sometimes because he is like this character that like just wants to help people out. He wants to protect people. His like meaning for doing things is very like basic and simplistic. And otherwise, he would just, be living a regular day in the life of Yuji, just like Ichigo was before he became a Soul Reaper, right? So, like, I kind of like Yuji for that. Obviously, Yuji is not as smart as Ichigo, and Yuji is a lot more laxed compared to Ichigo, like, character-wise. But I feel like in terms of, like, what they represent, that's what I want to say. They feel very similar in that way. Marco, Yuji is underrated. I blame Gojo for giving the spotlight to other characters a lot. Yeah, that I think will do it. I feel like they sideline Yuji and JJK from what I've seen. He's just been like such a like big like character meaning wise for me. And like what kept me going back to JJK, because to be honest, like I don't really love Megumi. Megumi is cool as like a contrast to Yuji, but like he's all right. He has his funny moments. I really love Nobara, and they just like her, you know? Um, and I like the new characters that they do introduce every once in a while, but I mostly like them for sometimes the comedic dynamic that they add. And yeah, the abilities in the system is always like kind of intriguing to see, and that's what I enjoy seeing new characters for. But aside from that, like I want to see more of my boy Yuji. He's the MC, man. That's why people out here being like, Yuta is the real MC. Like, what do you mean he's the real MC? Get out of here. Ah, Chris, Yuji is more lovable in the anime versus the manga. Really? Huh. Okay. Recovering elitist, Bleach is one of JJK's biggest influences. You know what? I've seen that somewhere. I see it often. I feel like it was in this specific arc and maybe like at the very start of the story, just seeing like Yuji on his lonesome and seeing him in a more serious and darker light is where I started to feel the emulation of Ichigo a little bit more, because you see Ichigo always in this more serious light, and like more dire like situations. And yes, we've seen Yuji in dire situations, but he always finds a way to be optimistic. So seeing this other side of Yuji, like the flip side, just after everything that he's gone through, I think it adds like a new layer of character. And I love that they just did that right in the beginning of the episode, because I was very shook to see some of the beginning scenes and how gruesome they were. I was like, I know this is JJK. I know it's kind of dark. I know it's kind of gruesome in some ways, but I was like, the art and the cinematography was just very different. Like it really caught me off guard. Chris, I agree with the Ichigo stance. Most people don't F with Bleach and Ichigo because of their relaxed state. Spencer, at elitist, I feel that. Bleach fans stand up and salute. Yes, sir. All right. Yuta was supposed to be the MC, but the fandom over there didn't like him as much, so Gege switched it over to Yuji. Yeah, that's what I understand, because that's why we have JJK 0. Toto is the GOAT. Toto is the GOAT. Is he coming back? Don't answer that. But is he coming back? Because, like, totally, like, bye-bye, arm. That was crazy. Marco, the real Jujutsu Kaisen is the friends we make along the way. Is it really? Because it seems like we're just losing our friends. Like, you literally make them along the way and then they're gone. Yeah, JJK started as a one-shot, like most manga. JJK 0, yeah, I did read that. He wrote Yuta as the MC, but he switched it and chose Yuji as the main serialization. I did see that a while ago when they came out with JJK 0. But yeah, that's it, guys. I don't have anything else for you. I mean, I could ramble endlessly. It's currently almost 10 p.m. my time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I know this is the first stream that I've done late, so I appreciate you all for joining, because this is a new one for me. This is a new one for me. I used to be in bed around this time. Like, this would be the time I would go to bed. Now, because night times are the times I can get most things done, I'm up a little bit later now. It's definitely a different change of pace. I will say that. Again, if you haven't been here before, make sure you subscribe. I'm making my comeback, and hopefully I'll have more videos coming out soon. I do have some sort of list of things going on that I want to film and I want to record, so we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. One of those ones is 100 meters, once I get a moment to sit down, because as some of you may know, I'm a big lover of Orb. I will even say that it's in my top 10 somewhere. And the person who wrote Orb is the same person who wrote 100 meters. That's why the character designs are obviously so similar. So when I get the time to sit down and watch that, I will be binging the crap out of that. And there'll eventually be a video on that. Yeah, that sounds great. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Really appreciate it. Dorito, I do like that Yuji and Ichigo have an inner beast that mirrors their own looks, but it's like the dark side inside of them. Yeah, that's a fantastic call out. Marco, Burger King or Hardee's / Charlie Jr.'s? I have not had Hardee's. I have not had Charles Jr. And I'm going to say that I haven't had Burger King in the United States in like 15 years. Yeah. So I can't really answer that question. I'm so sorry. But anyway, thanks everyone for joining. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you subscribe if you've never been here before. There will be more content that I'll be coming out with hopefully very soon. And yeah, I just want to say I appreciate you all for sticking with me through this last hour and change. Technical difficulties, lights flashing. It was crazy. But you know, I appreciate y'all. See you later, Space Cowboy. If only I enjoyed Cowboy Bebop. Anyway,